Well, I'm fishing over in Iceland on the beautiful River Blanda with local guide and very keen fisherman Danny. I've been fishing with Danny yesterday and this morning. Tell us a bit about the river, Danny.
This is Glacier River from northwest of Iceland, about 3 hours drive from the capital city Reykjavik. And this fishing area is 55 miles long. 3 beaches for the Glacier River. About 50, 60 market pool. About, I think, more 100 pool here, because some is not market, but...
Yeah.
And normal year is running about 2,000 salmon to the counter in the beat 1.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. Yesterday we went and fished above beat 3 because we were sort of doing a bit of research, weren't we, to try and find some fish if they've moved further upstream. We're fishing in the middle of July at the moment. And when's the start of the season here?
We start here 5th of June in the beat 1. And we're fishing there for first 15 days in the beat 1. And then we open the beat 2 and 3, 20th of June.
Yeah. So it's fair to say the fish are quite spread out at the moment. Fish are being caught on beat 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We didn't catch yesterday. I caught some beautiful trout. Absolutely spectacular surroundings. It's like a gorge, isn't it? There, it's just beautiful. And you explained that you do catch salmon up there, and it was absolutely fantastic. Quite challenging access in places, but that was the aim of the exercise, really, wasn't it? To go and do some research.
Yeah.
I also fished on beat 2 on some pools that aren't normally fished, and caught 2 beautiful grills between 5 and 7 pounds. Nice fresh fish. That was absolutely fantastic. And I thought I'd show the fly I caught it on. It's a medium-sized conehead, gold body, black and orange. And I was using the 14'6" rod with a small sink tip and the Ian Gordon 9-weight shooting head. And I was really surprised when I got here, Danny. It's a big river, it's been quite windy, and I felt that the 14'6" rod really helped me.
Yeah. This is very difficult using the big fly with the single hand rod here, but people do that, but this is more easy and more fun.
Yeah. But it definitely worked well yesterday. I've also set up one of our 11-foot micro spays. That's a 6'7".
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to using that, perhaps targeting some of the trout as well and the Arctic char that are in the river.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting point, really. Obviously, the main sort of aim is salmon fishing, but the quality of the brown trout and the char fishing is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, char can be up to the 5-6 pound. Brown trout and sea trout here too, they can be up to the 10-12 pounds.
Yeah. Well, later on today, we're going to go and hook up with my friends Richard and Tony. They're fishing down on beat 1. So it'd be great to see. Hopefully they're catching. I'm sure they are, because there's a lot of fish being caught at the moment on beat 1 and beat 2, isn't there?
Yeah, there's now this fish running through.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the first stop of the fish from the ocean.
And I just want to reference the lodge as well. I think the lodge is absolutely fantastic. The quality of the food that we've had is just amazing, and it's, fantastic staff, and it's well located, isn't it, the lodge?
Yeah, it is at the middle of the area, the river. You 20 minutes drive to beat 1, and top of the beat 3 is about 20 minutes. And this is look like the 4-star hotel with everything you need.
Yeah.
You have the jacuzzi and sauna, then you come tired.
Well, I'm looking forward to trying that out later. And the way that we're fishing is we're doing 2 sessions a day. The morning session's about 8, 9 o'clock, fishing till 1 o'clock, then coming back for a beautiful lunch, and then a bit of a rest and fishing again from 4 or 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then back for dinner. So you get plenty of time to fish, that's for sure, but it is nice and relaxed. You know, you're not punishing yourself, flogging the water. And I think it's a good concept as well, because you're giving the pools a rest, aren't you?
Yeah. It's because you have like opportunity to fish in very long area
Yeah.
every time. So many pool is about 300-500 yards long, and it's easy to spend 2-3 hours there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Danny, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
What an end to a wonderful day. We started off this morning trout fishing, didn't we?
Yep. And we started in the beat, the middle of the B2,
Yeah.
and we had a nice 2 brown trout in the morning.
What sort of size? They got to be 3 or 4 pounds?
Yeah, 3 or 4 pound. We get them on the streamer, and I'm using the fantastic fly rod,
Yeah.
11 feet.
Well, you didn't have to say that, but it was the microspay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The light microspay rod.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And you were fishing it, casting in a streamer.
Yeah, streamer.
What kind of
streamer?
streamer was it?
There was, we call it heimasæta in Iceland. This is blue, gray, and orange.
Yeah.
Orange head, and this is very famous for the artichoke, not for the for the trout.
Well, it worked well for the brownies because we'd fished different pools. We'd fished pools with dry fly. It was very bright, wasn't it, early this morning?
Yeah,
and then and we tried the nymph as well. But you really worked it out with the streamer, and they were 2 fantastic fish. So that was great to see.
Yeah, this is like because there's a little bit color river, so we have to use the color flies.
Yeah, yeah.
And working very fast with them, stripping fast, short, and it's nice pool. It's running fast to the highway, just 10 meters from the highway.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And then after lunch, we went and fished the experimental section on Beat 2.
Yeah, the lowest part on the B2.
Yeah, which I was really impressed with. It was a long, long stretch, like 300-400 meters even.
Yeah.
It looked really fishy. We saw fish, but we didn't catch.
No.
But I really enjoyed that. And now we've come down onto Beat 1.
Yeah, and this is totally different.
And this pool, this is a very famous pool, isn't it?
Yeah, Here is about 60% fish cut because it is the first stop, the salmon they run in the Blanda.
Yeah. And Richard, who's fishing upstream at the moment, he caught a lovely fish as we got here.
Yeah, 74.
Yeah, so I would say about £7, something like that.
Yeah,
£8.
7-8 pounds.
Yeah, and Ian's having a cast over there, which is great. So let's zoom in on Ian. Ian's having a good time over there.
Yeah, it's good for him to practice a little bit.
But he's gonna love that. But I tell you what, though, that was an education watching you fish. We'd all been fishing with typical sort of flies, small cone heads, smaller sort of flies, and you decided to have a go with the hitch fly.
Yeah.
I mean, you caught the fish, I don't know, 5 or 6 casts. You were on the spot, and you got that lovely little grill. So
yeah, that was nice. I use this riffle hitch a lot.
yeah,
It's a totally different technique for fishing. Like if you put the video now in Tom, you can see how they do that. But
I'm going to watch Tam now. He's using the same setup. It was the
Yeah.
gear I was using. That's actually the 14'6" rod. Obviously fishing a really short line and just skating the hitch fly over that zone there, which you explained is an absolutely perfect holding spot there for the fish.
yeah, this is the first stop, then come up to the rabbit.
So if Tam could just catch one now, please, Tam, that would be great.
Yes, it's very good, your Tom. Hold it a little bit higher up. Yeah, yeah, this is good for you. Yeah,
So that fly is skating across the surface,
yeah.
and the salmon just nail it. It's just a totally different type of presentation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Danny, we've had a wonderful end to our holiday, haven't we?
Yep.
And I thought I'd just summarise the last couple of days. When was it now? 2 days ago, we went to see Richard and Tony, and they were fishing on Beat 1 on the south bank.
Yep.
And that's where you can actually spot the fish from the top of the cliff.
Yep.
And you were up there, so you got some great footage with your camera. And both Richard and Tony caught some wonderful fish there. And it just proves, I think that is a spectacular pool, isn't it? Beat 1.
Yeah, Beat 1 is one of the best beat in the river.
Yeah.
All the fish go through there, and I think about nearly 60% all the fish is in the all river is caught on a Beat 1.
Yeah. And I mean, when you're there, you can see fish coming in all day, can't you? You know, you see the odd fish coming in at the tail of the pool. Yeah. And you've obviously got the fish counter above there. Yeah. Which is kind of proving that as well. So that's been absolutely fantastic. We've done a bit more sort of research fishing, haven't we? Yeah. We've been fishing in between some of the beats. We found some fantastic looking pools. I really enjoyed fishing down on the tidal section below Beat 1. Yep. And I could imagine on its day that could be spectacular. You were sort of saying, obviously, when you've got a good tide and you've got fish coming in, those pools would be really worth trying. Yeah, if you're lucky and then it's running through, because it's not stopped so much there. Yeah. But the late of the season, in middle of August or maybe end of August, and the Beat 1 is nearly full of the fish. Yeah. Some of the fish dropping down to this pool. Yeah. And stay there. Okay. But the biggest problem in this time is the river is overfall and there's a lot of water. Yeah. It's just only now 52 cubic meters. Yeah. Yeah, they can be up to the 100 cubic meters in seconds. Yeah. But we had a really good day yesterday. Oh, you took me to beat 2, a lovely long pool on beat 2.
Yeah.
And you were really confident that we were going to catch, and you were right.
Yeah, it was nice fish.
Yeah, I got a beautiful salmon. How many centimetres was it? I can't
84.
remember. 84 centimetres. We reckon it was about 11 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, 12.
11, 12 pound.
Yeah.
Such a strong fish. The take was a really vicious take. And we had a job with the wind, didn't we? There was a really strong upstream wind.
Yeah.
So casting was difficult. It didn't look very pretty, but just got the line out.
Yeah. It's working with how they fly in water.
Yeah, and I was using a kind of a shrimp pattern. Not too big, but that's what I caught that on. And I also had the most fantastic trout as well.
Yeah.
About 6 pounds.
6 pounds.
Which was unbelievable. And when I hooked it, I thought it was a salmon to start with. It was so strong. It jumped a couple of times and thought maybe it was a sea trout, but eventually it gave up and it was a beautiful brown trout.
Yeah.
So that just shows that, this river, it's not just got salmon, it's got amazing brown trout fishing and Arctic char.
Yeah, and sea trout too.
Yeah. So that was a really good time. My friend Tony, he went up to the Black River, which is a tributary of the river, isn't it?
Yeah, there are the total clear river.
Yeah.
And it come in the Blanda, about 30 miles from the ocean.
Yeah.
And go the fish running through the Blanda up to the Black River. But she is a little bit colder in Blanda, so some of the fish stay in the Blanda a long time before they go up to the Black River. But in the Black River you hook about 200, 250 fish every year.
Wow. And Tony's aim was to go and target the trout and the char.
Yeah.
And he had an amazing time fishing with a 9'4" weight. He was using nymphs, and he caught brownies up to, I think, 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And some big Arctic char as well. So that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was on the top of a little bit higher than the Salmon River, Salmon's beat is. So.
And then finally today, we fished the morning session, and I was lucky enough to be down on the north bank of Beat 1. We did some filming with Ian, and our good friend Marcel hooked a monster, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which was absolutely spectacular. We managed to get a lot of it on film, and Marcel hooked it. I reckon it must have taken half an hour to 40 minutes to land.
At least, yeah.
At least, and did ever so well to land it because it kept trying to get out of the pool. And probably 10 times it did a big run.
Yeah.
And then Marcel managed to get it back again, and eventually got it with the help of Eric.
Yeah.
And it was just brilliant to watch, and that's why we go salmon fishing, isn't it? You just don't expect something like that.
Yeah, and it's 97 centimeters, 22-pound fish.
Yeah.
In this water is...
It was unbelievable. What a beautiful fish. Yeah, so we reckon about 22 pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a quick fish after that, and managed to catch a beautiful grilse.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about what you taught me when we were there the other day about keeping the fly on the dangle for longer than you normally would. Or certainly I would. I think that's a mistake from the past. And sure enough, I caught it was a lovely little fresh grilse.
Yeah.
And I was using the 7/8 micro spay rod. So it's great sport when you're catching small grilse. And yeah, I've had some good salmon on it as well.
Yeah.
And I was just using a little cone head, sort of silver and black. We had hoped to fish the hitch fly, hadn't we? But that upstream wind made it very difficult down there. So I concentrated on that, and I just really enjoyed catching that. So that's the end of my session and the end of my fishing this year on the Blanda.
Yeah, and you have been a big problem with the hook the same fish, the same side of the fish, and Marcel do.
Yeah.
With this rod.
Yeah. Oh, if I'd have hooked that one, Marcel's, I think it would have been in the sea. But yeah. So that's been very interesting, the hitch fly, and quite a lot of the guys and girls this week have caught fish on the hitch.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I'm going to think about.
Yeah.
What in total over 5 days, I think the groups had 55 salmon.
Yeah.
And 60% of those have been 2C winter fish. So, real beautiful, powerful, big fish.
Yeah.
and I just think it's been an exceptional week.
80 centimeters and bigger, and around 10, 12, 13 pounds.
Yeah,
So
absolutely amazing. So I think we're going to have to come back. We've got to come back.
yeah, definitely have
And
to do that.
we just want to thank all the staff here in the lodge. They've been fantastic. And also the guides. I mean, you're just amazing. The effort, and you're so professional. And everybody's had a fantastic time. So I just want to thank you for that, Danny.
Yeah,
And we'll put all the contact details at the end of the video. And I just want to get back to Iceland. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, though. Nice to meet you.